ஆழ்வார் திருவடிகளே சரணம். எம்பெருமானார் திருவடிகளே சரணம். பிள்ளைலோக்காச்சாரிய திருவடிகளே சரணம். விளாஞ்சோலைப் பிள்ளை திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். பிள்ளைலோக்கம் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஸ்ரீசைலேஷ தயாபாத்திரம் தீபக்தியாதி குணார்ணவம் யதீந்திர பிரவணம் வந்தே ரம்ய ஜாமாதரம் முனிம் ரம்ய ஜாமாத்திரி யோகீந்திர பாத ரேகாமயம் சதா ததாயத்தாத்ம சத்தாதிம் ராமானுஜ முனிம் பஜே லக்ஷ்மீநாத சமாரம்பாம் நாத யாமுன மத்தியமாம் अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजे युग्मरुक्म व्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये मातापिता योते स्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य न कुलपतेरुकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगळं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना भूतं सरश्च महताह्वये भट्टनाथ श्री भक्तिसार कुलशेखर योगिवाहान भक्तांग्रेणु परकाल यतीन्द्र मिश्रान श्रीमत् परांकुशमुनिं प्रणतोस्मि नित्यं वाळि नालन्तिगळ नारण तादनरुள் வாழி அவன் அமுத வாய்மொழிகள் வாழியவே ஏறு திருவுடையான் எந்தை உலகாரியன் சொல் தேறு திருவுடையான் சீர். This is the Taniyan for this wonderful prabandham saptha Saptaghatha, which we have been enjoying for the last few sessions. We've seen the basic introduction about viLAnjOlaip and this prabandham saptha. We've seen the Taniyan and its meanings for this prabandham, and then we've also seen the detailed avatarika, the introduction given by Pillai Jiyar for this Grantam's Vyakyanam. So all along we have seen that this Saptakadai is a brief 7 pasuram Grantam. There are only 7 pasurams in this prabandham, and it has the essence of SrIvachana Divishastram, which was divinely composed by lOkAchArya. lOkAchArya has composed SrIvachana bhUshaNam, which brings out the most important principles of our Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam, and the essence of that Grantham is Charamopayam, that is, Acharya being the ultimate means for the ultimate goal. So that Charamopayam, ultimate upayam, ultimate means, is the final prakaranam, final section of SrIvachana bhUshaNam. So that final section's essence is given in this Saptakadai Prabandham. Not only that, the principles which are shown in SrIvachana bhUshaNa Divishastram, such as Bhagavan's true nature, Purushakara Vaibhavam, that is, the role of Sri Mahalakshmi, Pirati, in recommending us to Bhagavan, that aspect. And then Bhagavan's Nirhetka Kripa, the unconditional grace which Bhagavan showers on Atmas here, the nature of Acharya, the nature of Shishya, and then the relationship between the Acharya and Shishya and the interactions between Acharya and Shishya. All of these principles are beautifully explained in a very detailed manner in SrIvachana bhUshaNa Divishastram. Now, viLAnjOlaip, being an ardent disciple of lOkAchArya, he has learnt everything, Divya Prabandhams, their commentaries, Rahasya Granthams, their commentaries, all of these were directly heard by viLAnjOlaip from the greatest of all the Acharyas, that is lOkAchArya. So lOkAchArya has himself taught everything directly to viLAnjOlaip. Being in such a great situation, great position, he has composed these 7 pasurams, which beautifully brings out the essence of SrIvachana bhUshaNa Divya Shastram. We have seen all of that in the detailed introduction section. We've also seen how Tiruvasiriyam, which is on Bhagavan by Nammalvar, and this saptha kAdhai, which is on the important concept of Acharya, Acharya Bhakti, and so on, which is composed by viLAnjOlaip here. Both are having same 7 pasurams. So in Prathama Parvam, that is in Bhagavan's matter, the Tiruvasiriyam prabandham is there. In Charama Parvam, Acharya's matter, there is viLAnjOlaip's saptha kAdhai. We also seen the other differences, such as the Tiruvasiriyam Grantham is in a poetic meter which is easy to compose, and there are no specific major rules in that meter. But the saptha kAdhai is in a meter which has so many restrictions, which is very difficult to write a poem in that meter, but it is easy for us to understand. So piLLai lOkAchArya's disciple viLAnjOlaip has mercifully given us this saptha kAdhai, which brings out all the essence of SrIvachana Bhushan, Divya Shastram. So we've seen up to that. Now we are moving on to the commentary for this prabandham for each pasuram. Now there are 7 pasurams. The first pasuram's commentary is very lengthy, very detailed. piLLai lOkAchArya has brought out many important aspects in this first pasuram's commentary. It can be seen as a treasure of our sampradaya principles. But subsequently, for all the other 6 pasurams, the commentary is not so detailed. So today we will try to cover first pasuram and second pasuram. In the next session, we will try to cover the remaining 5 pasurams. So first pasuram, Ambon Arangarkum Avikum Andaranga Sambandham Kati, Tadai Kati, Umbar Tivamenum Valvuk Cherந்த நெறி காட்டும் அவனன்றோ ஆச்சாரியன். The first pasuram itself, it's a very beautiful explanation given for the term Acharya. We all have this doubt. Who is Acharya? Who is Acharya? Who is our Acharya? Where am I going to find my Acharya? So for that question, here piLLai lOkAchArya's disciple viLAnjOlaip, having heard from piLLai lOkAchArya, the most authentic Acharya in our sampradayam, the most glorious Acharya in our sampradayam, from his explanation, from his instructions, viLAnjOlaip is explaining, describing who is an Acharya. And the explanation is very simple. The one who gives Artha Panchaka Jnanam in a very elaborate manner, in a very detailed manner, where the person who is giving that knowledge, Artha Panchaka Jnanam, also follows up with the disciple, ensures that the disciple practices everything properly and guides the disciple and reforms the disciple and ultimately leads the disciple to the ultimate goal. Such person is really Acharya. And for all of these, the foundation, the basis is Artha Panchakam. So this Artha Panchakam is the most important aspect, and whoever teaches that clearly, elaborately, so that we can understand that and put that into practice by observing the person who taught his practice. So all of these are put together, which will help us understand the term Acharya. So let us see the word by word meanings for the first pasuram, and then we will go into detailed commentary. Ambon Arangarkum. So means beautiful in Tamil. Is beautiful. Pon, pure. Arangarkum, for Periya Perumal, who has Srirangam as his divine abode. Avikum. Avi means Atma, Jivatma. So for all the Atmas, which are of 3 categories. Atmas are of 3 categories. That is Nityasuris, Muktatmas, and Baddhatmas. Nityasuris are the eternally liberated Atmas who are always with Bhagavan, like Ananta, Garuda, Vishwaksena, and so on. Many innumerable Atmas are there like that. And then Muktatmas are those who were in samsara and got liberated from samsara. And finally, Baddhatmas are those who are bound in this samsara. So these three types of Atmas are there, and they are all identified by the term Avi, that is Atma. Antaranga Sambandham. Antaranga Sambandham means the very close relationship, that is Ananyarha Sheshatvam, that is Atma being the exclusive servant of Bhagavan. There is no split leaders here. Atma has only one leader, that is Bhagavan. So, Atma is completely uh, subservient to Bhagavan only. That sambandham, that close sambandham, confidential sambandham, kati, showing that. So, one has to show the nature of Bhagavan who is very pure and beautiful. One has to show Atmas who are of three categories. And then one has to show the connection between all the Atmas and Paramatma Bhagavan. So that is the first aspect which is to be shown by the Acharya. Next, Tadai Kati. Now the Acharya has to next reveal the hurdles which are going to stop the Jivatmas from attaining the goal. So that is the Tadai. And then not only in the goal aspect, also in the means, in the process, and then in the nature of supremacy of Bhagavan, and then Jivatma's exclusive servitude towards Bhagavan. In all of these, there are misunderstandings, misrepresentations. Those are the hurdles. So these hurdles have to be identified by the Acharya. And then Umbar Divam ennum Valvukku, that is the goal to be attained. The eternal Kainkaryam is to be done in Sri Vaikuntham, Paramapadam, which is at the disposal of Nityasuris and Muktatmas. The Paramapadam, even though Bhagavan is the overall ruler of Paramapadam and Samsaram too, still the Paramapadam has been left under the control of devotees. Bhagavan is saying that this is your place. That is why in pAsurams also Alvars say Vanavar Nadu. Vanavar Nadu means Paramapadam, which is the abode of Nityasuris and Muktatmas. It is not said as the abode of Bhagavan, but the abode of Nityasuris and Muktatmas who are totally devoted to Bhagavan. So, Umbar Timamennum Valvukku, for such great life. So, that has to be shown by the Acharya. And then, Valvukku Cherna Neri. The Upayam, Neri means path. Upayam means for that great life. So that has to be shown by Acharya. Kattum avanandro. So the Neri is Prapati, Sharanagati, which is matching the greatness of Bhagavan who is to be attained. So all of these aspects. So first, Bhagavan, Periya Perumal, Sri Ranganatha, Sri Vaikunthanatha, and then Jivatmas, and then hurdles for the Jivatmas, and then the goal to be attained by the Jivatmas, that is reaching Paramapadam and being eternally serving Bhagavan, and then finally the path, the means to attain such goal. So the one who reveals all of these through the explanation given for Tirumantram, Ashtaksharam. So the Ashtaksharam is having the Artha Panchakam. In Mumukshupadi, in the beginning itself, lOkAchArya explains that in Tirumantram, in Ashtaksharam, whatever we have to know, whatever we have to learn, that is Artha Panchakam, that is all present in Tirumantram. So Tirumantram is basically giving us Artha Panchakam. So if you see Tirumantram, Akara, Ukara, Makara, A, U, Ma, that makes Pranavam. And then Namaha. and then Narayanaya. In that, we can see that Jivatma Swarupam and Paramatma Swarupam are explained in Pranavam itself. Because Akara represents Bhagavan, that explains Paramatma Swarupam. And then Makara explains Jivatma Swarupam. And then Aya in Akara, that is Aya, Ukara, Makara. That is how it is structured. Even though Aya is not visible, it is hidden, there is Aya. So that shows the servitude of Jivatma towards Paramatma. And Ukara shows the exclusivity. That is, Bhagavan is only having servitude towards, Jivatma is only having servitude towards Bhagavan, nobody else. So that is all explained in Pranavam. Namaha talks about the both goal and both means and hurdles, because Maha means for me, which is dangerous, which will make us fall down. So that is the hurdle. Na Maha, that means I am existing for Bhagavan only. Bhagavan is my protector. Bhagavan is my Rakshaka. So that is the Upayam. So Namaha also, this is when we split Namaha into two parts. Also Namaha itself as a word, that itself says that it is representing Sharanagati. So Namaha talks about Upayam and Virodhi. Finally, Narayanaya talks about the goal, service to Bhagavan, Sriman Narayana. Narayana Aya. Aya is service to Narayana. So this Tirumantram, Ashtaksharam, has the Artha Panchakam. And that Tirumantram is explained, not only Tirumantram, but Dvaya Mahamantram, Charma Shlokam. All of these are explained by Acharya, and these contain the Artha Panchakam. And this Artha Panchakam is most important knowledge we have to acquire. And the one who gives us this Artha Panchakam Jnanam, knowledge, that person is Acharya, says viLAnjOlaip in this first pAsuram. Let us see the commentary. First, the introduction section for the commentary. First, the famous Harita Smriti Shlokam is shown. Prapyasya Brahmano Rupam, Praptuscha Pratyagatmanaha, Praptipayam Palam Praptehe, Tata Prapti Virodhicha, Vadanti Sakala Vedaha, Setihasa Puranakaha, Munayascha Mahatmano Veda Vedartha Vedinaha. So here, this famous Shlokam is shown. This explains the Artha Panchakam. Prapyasya Brahmano Rupam. The Bhagavan is the one supreme personality, and he is to be attained. He is the one who is our goal, target. Praptuscha Pratyagatmanaha. The attainer, the one who attains Bhagavan, is Pratyagatma, that is Jivatma, who is conscious. And then Prapti Upayam. Prapti Upayam is the means to attain Bhagavan. Jivatma is there, Paramatma is there. Countless Jivatmas are there, one Paramatma is there. So the countless Jivatmas can attain Paramatma. That path, that means, that is Sharanagati. Bhagavan's lotus feet is the only refuge for Jivatma. So that is shown. Prapti Upayam, and then Palam Praptehe. Phalam is the goal to be attained. That is, after reaching Bhagavan, we have to serve Bhagavan. That is our goal. That is our activity. After reaching Bhagavan, the only thing we have to do is we have to serve Bhagavan eternally. And then finally, Tatha Prapti Virodhi. The hurdles which stop an individual from reaching Paramapadam, reaching Bhagavan. So that is the hurdles, and that can be with respect to misunderstanding Bhagavan, misunderstanding Jivatma, misunderstanding the Upayam, misunderstanding the goal. In any of these cases, misunderstandings would be there. Those are all the hurdles, and these have to be eliminated. So these 5 aspects, that is Jivatma Swarupam, Paramatma Swarupam, Upaya Swarupam, Upaya Swarupam, Virodhi Swarupam. These are all the important 5 aspects which everyone has to know, and this is explained by the great sages, Mahatmas, Munis. They have all analyzed and they have brought this out as the essence of Vedam. So that principle of Artha Panchakam is revealed by the true Acharya. So that is explained here. Let us see the commentary. It's a very elaborate commentary. We are not going to go into every word, but we will see brief explanation. Ambon Arangarkum. First, Ambon Arangarkum is said. Now here, instead of telling Ambon Vaikuntanatharkum, that is Sri Vaikuntanatha. Instead of showing Sri Vaikuntanatha, here Ranganatha is shown. Arangarkum, that means Ranganatha is shown. Why is that? Because lOkAchArya is the one who is very attached to Ranganatha. He spent all his life in Sri Rangam only, fully celibate, did not get married, did not engage in materialistic aspirations, no sensual pleasures, nothing. lOkAchArya had everything submitted to Bhagavan, Sri Ranganatha, Periya Perumal, and also he had Periya Perumal as his life. Everything was centered around Periya Perumal only. Because Periya Perumal is dear to viLAnjOlaip Pillai's Acharya, he is saying Ambon Arangarkum. That is the first aspect. So here in the introduction, in the Vyakyanam, in the commentary, piLLai GF first explains the fifth sutram from Mumukshupadi. Samsarigal Tangalaiyum Ishwaranayum Marandhu, Ishwara Kainkariyathayum Izhandu, Izhandom என்கிற இழவுமின்னிக்கே சம்சாரமாகிற கடல்லே விழுந்து நோவுபட, பெருங்கடல்லே விழுந்து நோவுபட. The samsaris, that is materialistic people, without realizing who they are, without realizing who Bhagavan is, and then having lost Kainkaryam to Bhagavan, Seva, service to Bhagavan, because one is not situated in the natural position of servitude towards Bhagavan, one is engaging in worldly activities only. So that is why they are called as samsaris. Samsaris mean those who are engaged in worldly activities and they have forgot themselves, they have forgot Bhagavan, and then they have forgotten that Kainkaryam is to be done. And not only they have lost it, Kainkaryam, they have also not got any realization about losing that Kainkaryam. So they are completely unaware of the fact that Kainkaryam can be done, it can be pleasing for Bhagavan, which will lead to our happiness also. So all of these are not known to samsaris. So when they are like that, Bhagavan mercifully appeared in this world and he remained as Nara and Narayana. Narayana is the Acharya, Nara is the Shishya. Both are Bhagavan's incarnations only, and Narayana Rishi instructed Tirumantram to Nara Rishi. So here Acharya means the person who eliminates all of this ignorance in the individual and who educates the individual in a very clear way so that the disciple, the devotee will have excellent clarity in all of these Artha Panchakam. So that is shown here. So here that only it appears that piLLai GR is glorifying viLAnjOlaip Pillai here. It looks like viLAnjOlaip Pillai is sincerely following lOkAchArya, and he is the only one who is sincerely following lOkAchArya. Even more than other disciples of lOkAchArya, viLAnjOlaip Pillai is totally dedicated to the instructions of lOkAchArya. So he is now explaining the meanings of SrIvachana bhUshaNam in a beautiful way, starting with the Artha Panchakam, that is Ambon Arangarkum, that is Paramatma Swarupam is shown here. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it is said, Tasya Prakriti Leenasya Yapparasa Maheshwaraha. That is the Tirumantram is directly pointing to Bhagavan. Akaro Vishnu Vachinaha. Akara means it is explaining Bhagavan's, it is a name for Bhagavan. Akara itself is a name for Bhagavan. It indicates Vishnu only. So in Tiruchanda Virutham also it is said, Tulakamil Vilakamai. That is, Bhagavan is like a clearly burning lamp, very clearly burning lamp. So that is the one who is fully knowledgeable, one who is fully protecting all his devotees based on the relationship he has with all the Atmas. Everyone is being protected by Bhagavan. So that is Ambon Arangarkum. So here, Ampon means the beauty and purity. Both are there. Indicates the beauty, Pon indicates the purity. So both are there, and these both aspects are present in Bhagavan. So here Periya Perumal, who is the protector of all, he is the one who protects everyone, the Lord of all, is decorated with many auspicious qualities. He's got some amazing, wonderful qualities, many such unlimited qualities, and he is being the refuge for those who have no refuge. For the refugeless persons, Bhagavan Sri Ranganatha is being the refuge, and he is staying in this Sri Rangam, in this Dividesham, the primary Dividesham for Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam, the root Dividesham for Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam, and it is great, similar to Mathura and Ayodhya and many other Divideshams where Bhagavan took birth himself. So similar to that, this Sri Rangam is greatly celebrated. And its greatness is due to the Kaveri river which is surrounding the town. In many pasurams, this Kaveri river is glorified by Alvars. They are all shown by piLLai here. Now here, Bhagavan has a special identity. Ambon Arangarkum, that means one who is beautiful, one who is very pure, and one who is present in Sri Rangam. So similar, just as Bhagavatas are identified based on the connection with Bhagavan. For example, it is said Tirumaladiyargal, Vishnu Bhakta. So Bhagavatas means they are associated with Bhagavan. Similarly here, Bhagavan also likes to be associated with this Dividesham. So that is why he is known as Ambon Arangar. Just like how devotees are happy to be associated with Bhagavan, here Bhagavan is associated happily with his devotee and with his Dividesham, the abode where he is living, where he is residing. So that is why he is known as Ambon Arangarkum. And then there is alternative explanation. Also in here, one more aspect is shown. Here Ambon Arangarkum is said by by viLAnjOlaip piLLai. There is no direct reference to Sri Mahalakshmi in this first Pasuram. So here we have to understand that in Ambon Arangar means it includes Pirati also. Because one who is having beautiful form, that means also it is talking about Bhagavan having Pirati on his chest. So Pirati is inseparable from Bhagavan. Even in Swarupam, in the word Akara, in the letter Akara itself, word Akara itself, just as Bhagavan is present, along with him, Pirati is also present. It is only Sriman Narayana, not just Narayana. So that connection with Pirati is beautifully implied. It is not explicitly mentioned, but it is implied by saying Ambon Arangarkum. In the Bhagavan himself, Pirati is inseparable. So because of that, she is always recited together. It is also the Lakshmi Tantram Shlokam is quoted here. Ahanta Brahmanastasya. That is, Bhagavan's ego is nothing but Pirati. Bhagavan's consciousness is Pirati. And in Mumukshupadi it is said, Ivalode Kudiye Vastuvinude Unmai. This Paramatma means always with Sri Mahalakshmi only. Without her, Paramatma is not present. So that is explained here. And then there is another explanation for Ambon Arangarkum. Ambon means the attractiveness acquired from the beauty. See, means beauty, and then Pon here also is desirable or relishable. So put together, it is known as attractiveness acquired from the beauty that is present in Srirangam and Periyaperumal. This Ambon Arangarkum is there. This Arangar is a word. Arangarkum is another word. Ambon is Ambon are two words which are attributes. For example, means beautiful, Pon means pure. Arangarkum. Now this beauty and purity can be associated with Sri Ranganatha. Arangarkum, same together, it can be associated with Sri Ranganatha, or it can be associated with Ambon Arangar, that is Ambon Arangam, that is this Sri Rangam which is beautiful and pure. Arangarkum, for that Sri Ranganatha who is present in this Dividesham, and mainly he is present with great simplicity, easily approachable. Anyone can go in and worship Sri Ranganatha when the Sannidhi is open, of course. They can go and have darshan of Bhagavan. They can see anyone, irrespective of their state, their knowledge level, their devotion. They can still go and see Bhagavan. So he has presented himself in a very easily approachable manner. So that is Ambon Arangarkum. And then there is a series of pasurams which are quoted where the Periyaperumal's prominence is shown. So first point is Periyaperumal Sri Ranganatha is the prominent one in comparison to all other forms of Bhagavan. That is because Alvar has said, Mugilvannan Adimel Sonna Solmale Ayiram. These 1000 pasurams, they are all spoken on, the Thiruvaimozhi is fully spoken on Sri Ranganatha only. Says Mugilvannan Adi Mel Sonna Solmale Ayiram. On the divine feet of Bhagavan, this 1000 pasurams are sung, says Alvar. And also in Thiruvaimozhi Thaniyan we see Madilarangar, Van Pugal Mel, Anna Tamil Maraigal, Ayiram, Inna Mudarthai, Kadagopan. So all of these 1000 pasurams, even though there are many pasurams which are for many Divideshams, but the origin is all of these pasurams are for Bhagavan Sri Ranganatha only. And then after that it is distributed to each Perumal. It is like Tirumogur Perumal, Eetha Pattivai. In the Tirumogur Padiham, in the final pasuram, Eetha Pattivai Etha Vallarku Idar Kedume, says Alvar. There Eetha Patti means Alvar is giving, okay, take this for one Perumal, take this for another Perumal. So each Perumal, from the 1000 pasurams which are all for Sri Ranganatha, each pasuram, each Padiham, they are taken and given to different Perumals. So that is the prominence for Periyaperumal, which is shown in both Thiruvaimozhi itself and the Thiruvaimozhi Thaniyan. And then Periyaperumal is the ultimate goal. That is also revealed in the Thiruvaimozhi Prabandham. So the whole objective of Thiruvaimozhi is to learn and understand about Periyaperumal and other forms of Bhagavan and ultimately reach that Bhagavan. So the ultimate goal is Periyaperumal only, Sri Ranganatha only, says that is the second reason for Periyaperumal's prominence. And then Periyaperumal is the only one Perumal who has been praised by all the 10 Alvars. All the 10 Alvars have performed Mangala Shasanam only to Periyaperumal. Trivenkadamudayan, Tirupati, Srinivasa Bhagavan, he came close. But Tondaladipudi Alvar did not sing anyone other than Sri Ranganatha. So, Srinivasa Bhagavan also had to be satisfied with just 9 Alvar's Mangala Shasanas. But only Periyaperumal Sri Ranganatha has got 10 Alvar's Mangala Shasanams. And then next point is, he is the root of our Guru Parampara. Also Periyaperumal Sri Ranganatha is the topmost Acharya in our Sampradayam, Lakshminatha Samarambham. So when the Acharya Parampara starts, it starts with Lakshminatha, Sriman Narayana was the divine consort of Bhagavan, that is Periya Perumal. So that is the next significance. And finally, this Dividesham is the root Dividesham for all the other Divideshams. That is, every practice, every feature, everything is taken from this Dividesham and slowly put into place in other Divideshams. So these are all showing the prominence of Srirangam and Sri Ranganatha. So that is shown here. And then next, the Avikum, that term is taken and it's going to be explained. Avikum is for Jivatma. See, after we saw Akara, that is in Pranavam, Akara is pointing to Vishnu. After that, Makara is there. A, U, Ma. So, Makara is there. This Makaraha Jiva Vachakaha. It is said that Makara is indicating Jivatma. 25th letter in Sanskritam alphabet is Makara. 24th principle, that is 24 Achit elements are there. And then 25th element is Jivatma. And there is a match. That is why Makara is always said for Jivatma. And then for this Avikum can also be joined with Ambon. We saw Ambon Arangarkum. That Ambon can also be attribute for the Avi, that is Jivatma. Again, here Ambon means that which is beautiful and that which is desirable. Even the Jivatma is similar to Kaustubhamani. That is Bhagavan's on the divine chest there is Kaustubhamani. That is a representation for Jivatma. So Bhagavan's Kaustubhamani is the representation for Jivatma. So they can also be glorified as Ambon. Very beautiful, very attractive Avikum, Jivatmas. Here the Antaranga Sambandham, next that is to be shown, Ambon Arangarkum Avikum in Yajur Brahmanam, it is said Yasyasmi Natam Antarema Natam Antareya, that is the person whom I am a servitor, that is Bhagavan. The Bhagavan is the Lord for me and I am his servitor. So that is Yasyasmi, that means I am existing for that Bhagavan only. And then there is Prapyasya Brahmano Rupam, that nature of Brahman, that is explained in the first portion. Now, Ambon Avikum, we are talking about the Jivatmas. So here, we have seen this. Then Ambon Arangarkum Avikum Antaranga Sambandham Kati. That is to be explained next. Antaranga Sambandham means that close connection, the close relationship. That is, Jivatma is eternally subservient to Paramatma. That is the one meaning for Antaranga Sambandham. That is, Antaranga Sambandham means very close connection between Jivatma and Paramatma. Though every Atma is thinking that they are subservient to mother, father, husband, wife, children, manager, and so on. But the reality is, every Atma is subservient to Bhagavan only. Even in this world, if you look at Atmas running around behind materialistic pleasures, everything is held by Bhagavan only. So because of that, the entire Jivatmas, all of the Jivatmas, they are all totally subservient to Bhagavan only. That Antaranga Sambandham, that exclusive connection between Jivatma and Paramatma, that is shown in the Ukaram here. Ukaram is the base and that is elaborated in Antaranga Sambandham Kati. So here Ukaram is known as Avadharanam. Avadharanam means exclusive aspect, that Jivatma is exclusively subservient to Bhagavan only and nobody else. That is shown here. And also another meaning for Ukaram. That is, this Ukaram points confidential relationship. That is very close relationship. That is Navavida Sambandham. Jivatmas and Paramatma have 9 types of relationship, which is a separate grantham. Actually, Navavida Sambandham is a grantham given by piLLai lOkAchArya. We will enjoy that sometime. But briefly, we can see what are all the different relationships. Pitascha Rakshaka Sheshi Bharto Gneyo Ramapati Swamyadaro Mama Atma Bhoktacha Anuditaha. Bhoktacha Manuditaha says in this shlokam, um, the 9 different relationships, they are all shown here. Pitascha Rakshaka Sheshi Bharta Gneyo Ramapati Swamyadaro Mama Atma Cha Bhoktacha Adhya Manuditaha. That is, in the Tirumantram, in the Ashtakshar Mantram, the 9 relationships between Jivatma and Paramatma are explained. That is, first relationship is Paramatma is father, Jivatma is son. Paramatma is Rakshaka, that is protector, Jivatma is protected. Pitascha Rakshaka, and then Sheshi. Sheshi means Lord, leader. And the Jivatma is Sheshabhuta, that is servitor. Bharta, Bhagavan is the Bharta, that is husband. He is the man. And the Bharyal, that is woman, wife, is Jivatma. And then Nyeyo. Nyeya means that which is to be known, the target of knowledge. Through knowledge, what do we understand? That is Bhagavan. And the one who knows is Jivatma. All of these relationships belong to Ramapati, that is Sriman Narayana. And then Swamyadaro, Swami means the one who is owner. Sotu means the Swam, that is the wealth, possession. So, possession, that is Bhagavan's property. All the Atmas are Bhagavan's property. And then Adhara means that which is sustaining. Adheya means that which is sustained. So all the Atmas are sustained, held by Bhagavan, who is the underlying support. So Adhara, Adeya, Sambandham is explained. And then Mama Atma, that is between Paramatma and Jivatma, there is Antaryami Sambandham. That is, Bhagavan is the Atma and Jivatmas are his body. So that understanding should be there. Mama Atma cha Bhokta. Finally, Bhokta. Bhagavan is the enjoyer. We are to be enjoyed by him. We are his enjoyment. So these 9 relationships are there with Bhagavan and Jivatmas, all the Jivatmas. It is not just for Muktatmas, it's not just for Nityatmas, it is for all the Atmas. These relationships are common, says piLLai here in the commentary. And then next aspect. Now Acharya is going to explain all of these 9 types of relationships between Paramatma and Jivatma, just as it is said in Ariyadana Arividya Atta. That is, Bhagavan is the one who taught what we don't know. So that is explained in Tiruvayamudi. So similarly, Acharya is really giving all this knowledge to Chaitanya. So that is explained here. So here, many aspects are shown. That is, once the Atma understands the principles clearly, then he will have realization of true nature of self. What do we get after understanding this sambandham between Bhagavan and Jivatmas? When we think about this, what we will get by having clear understanding of this Navavida Sambandham, Artha Panchakam, and so on, that is listed here by pAlilokam Jiyar. The realization of true nature of self as said in பெரிய திருமொழி, that is 8.9.3. கண்ணபுரம் ஒன்று உடையானுக்கு அடியேன் ஒருவர் குறியேனோ. I, who am the servitor of Bhagavan of Kannapuram, will I go and serve anyone? No, says Tirumangiyalvar in this pasuram. And then it will also cause oneself to be unable to protect oneself. That is, en நான் செய்கேன் யாரே களைகன். Alvar was asking, what can I do now? Yare Kaligan, who will be my protector? So I don't have any capability to protect myself. And then firm faith in the goal will be acquired. That is, Unnalallal Yavaralum Unnum Kuraiventin. I am happy only by serving you, nobody else. I don't want anything from anyone. And then urgency to reach Bhagavan. It is not that we can just enjoy and relax in this world. The moment we surrendered, we start craving for reaching Bhagavan, the ultimate goal, and serving him. So, Magavaigundam Kanbadarki Enmanam Yegamendum. That is what Nammalvar says. My heart is always eager to enjoy the SrIvachana continuously, says Alvar. And then that person will also have fear for the hurdles. That is, one will hesitate to be engaged in materialistic aspects because all of those are hurdles. So one will be frightened to even go close to materialistic enjoyment. As said in Pambodu Kurele Paindrapur, when a person of clear conviction on Navavida Sambandham Artha Panchakam is there, he will say for other aspects, for hurdles, he will say, just like I am sleeping with a snake in the same house, similarly I am having hurdles in this samsara. The samsara itself is my hurdles. So that is what the mood will be acquired. And then respect for those who are our desirable for us. That is, Bhagavatas who are the ultimate goal for us, we will develop respect and humility towards them. And then gratitude towards those who are benefactors. When we get helped by others, then we will become grateful for them. Firm dedication towards the one who is delivering us to Paramapadam. So, Avikor Pattukombu Ninnalal Arigindan. Bhagavan is the one who is guiding us, or Acharya is the one who is guiding us. For that Acharya, we should have complete conviction. So that is explained here. And then so many other aspects which have to be eliminated. All the hurdles have to be eliminated, and one should be situated in true knowledge. That is all explained here in this section. And then Andaranga Sambandham Kati. This relationship, this is not artificial. It is natural relationship between Bhagavan and Jivatma. This is natural relationship. So, showing about all of that. And finally, Tadai Kati. After understanding the relationship between Jivatma and Paramatma, now we have to understand what is the hurdle in all of these aspects. Whether it is about the relationship between Jivatma and Paramatma, whether it is the understanding of the supremacy in Bhagavan. Some people may doubt the supremacy of Bhagavan. So those are hurdles. And then the servitude, in the matter of servitude towards Bhagavan, there may be hurdles, there may be shortcomings. And then finally, whatever Kaikariam we are doing, there also possibly could be some hurdles. So all of these hurdles should be clearly understood. And finally, after this Tadai, the hurdles, one has to be given the actual path to reach Bhagavan. So also the hurdles are listed here. What are all the hurdles? Narayanam paritejya hridistam patim ishwaram yonyam archayate devam prabudhyasa papabhak. So here, when one worships other devatas, abandoning Sriman Narayana, who is the Sarveshwaran, who is the Lord of all, he is only consuming sins. He is only doing papams. And also it is said, Swatantriyam Anyasheshatvam Atmapaharanam Viduhu. Know that the independence and being dependent on anyone other than Bhagavan, that itself is equivalent to stealing the self. So many of these hurdles, they are all shown here. They are all explained in detail. So with all these hurdles, we have to have clear knowledge. And then உம்பர் திவம் என்னும் வாழ்வுக்கு சேர்ந்த நெறிகாட்டி. Then உம்பர் திவம் என்னும் வாழ்வு, that is the ultimate abode where we have to crave for living there. So here உம்பர் திவம் என்னும் வாழ்வு, that is Vanavar Nadu. His example is shown here. Already we've seen that Vanavar Nadu means the abode of Nityasuris. So Bhagavan likes it to be called as abode of Nityasuris. So that Umbartivam, that ultimate abode of Bhagavan, which is known as Vanavar Nadu in Tamil, and also Thelivisimbu Tirunadu. In Tiruvayamozhi, it is extended as Thelivisimbu Tirunadu, the very clear sky, which is having wonderful clarity, and it is part of Tirunadu, says Alvar, Nammalvar in this pasuram. So here is Umbar Divamennum Valvu. That is the ultimate goal of attaining Bhagavan, is the essence of what we have to know. That is shown here. This Vaikuntham is very huge place. It is beyond Viraja river, and one has to cross Viraja river to reach Vaikuntham. And there is no return here. Once we reach Vaikuntham, we stay there only, eternally enjoying Bhagavan. So that is explained here. And then Umbar Divam ennum வாழ்வுக்கு சேர்ந்த நெறி. சேர்ந்த நெறி means matching means for the ultimate goal. So here, when it is said சேர்ந்த நெறி, that means one can understand that there is also serada neri. That means those paths which are not apt for the true nature of Jivatma. So that is also shown here. And then Kattum Avanandro Acharyan, the one who shows all of this in a practical way, only that person can be said as Acharyan, Sadacharyan. There is a pramanam, Achinoti Shastrarthan Acharye Stapayatyapi Swayam Acharate Yastu Sa Acharya Itiritaha. This is the definition for the term Acharya. Acharya means Ashinoti Shastrarthan. One has to first study the Shastrartham from elders, and then Swayam Acharate. One has to practice oneself and then teach it to others. The Acharya means one who learns from Shastram, from elders, practices that, and then he teaches it to others. That is the definition for Acharya. Because we have to see, whenever we say Acharya, we have to see if that person fits this definition, whether he is following Shastram, whether he is observing, whether he has learned Shastram from elders, whether he is observing the Shastram properly, and then whether he is teaching it to others. So these three aspects define an Acharya. So Nere Acharyan என்பது, it is explained in SrIvachana bhUshaNam that one who gave Periya Tirumantram, which eliminates the samsaram for the Jivatma, which received that instruction, the Tirumantram Upadesham. Here Tirumantram includes Dvaya Mahamantram and Charana Shlokam also. So the one who instructs that Periya Tirumantram with elaborate meanings, with the explanation of Dvaya Mahamantram, Charana Shlokam and all of that, that person is known as Acharyan. So here, the definition for Acharya is given by piLLai lOkAchArya in the first pasuram, and the favors done by Acharya, that is giving the Arthapanchaka Jnanam for the disciple. So that is explained in the first pasuram. I thought of going through the second pasuram, but it's already 9 o'clock. So we'll complete today, and in the next session, we'll see the remaining pasurams. Every Saturday, we are going through saptha kAdhai, and it's a very valuable grantham which has very important aspects. So we'll continue on with the next set of pastorals in the next session. Alvar Thirudigale Sharanam, Emberamanar Thirudigale Sharanam, piLLai lOkAchArya Thirudigale Sharanam, viLAnjOlaip Pillai Thirudigale Sharanam, GR Thirudigale Sharanam, GR Thirudigale Sharanam, piLLai lOkam GR Thirudigale Sharanam. பல்லாண்டு பல்லாண்டு பல்லாயிரத்தாண்டு பல கோடி நூறாயிரம் பல்லாண்டு திங்களோடும் நிவண்ணாவும் சேவல் செவிதிருக்காப்பொழியோம் ஓடும் பெருவெண்ணி ஆயிரம் பல்லாண்டு வடிவாய்ந்த நடமார்பினில் வாழ்கின்ற மங்கையும் பல்லாண்டு வடிவார் சோதி வளத்துறையும் சுடர் ஆழியும் பல்லாண்டு படபோர் புக்கு முழங்கும் அப்பாஞ்ச சன்னியமும் பல்லாண்டு.